Va bé ja? Bon dia a tothom. Benvinguts a aquesta sessió tan especial que farem en aquesta missió inversa que ha organitzat l'Institut Ramon Llull amb col·laboració de l'Associació Professional d'Il·lustradors de Catalunya. Estem molt contents de tenir aquí aquests grans exponents de la publicació de literatura infantil i juvenil i estem molt contents de que s'hagin ofert a compartir aquest temps a la nostra ciutat de Barcelona, a Catalunya, i que estiguin disposats a estar tant amb els editors catalans que venen drets de llibre infantil i juvenil com amb els il·lustradors que intenteu tots plegats veure quins nous camins poden estar a la vostra vida professional. Aquesta sessió, cada un d'ells explicarà una mica què és el que pretén, tant des de la seva posició com a editor o com a agent amb els il·lustradors, com també què esperen de com els hi presenteu les vostres feines. Aleshores, jo ara els donaré les gràcies i la Belén Cabratosa, que alguns de vosaltres ja la coneixeu, que és la nostra experta en temes de comerç exterior, doncs farà una petita introducció cap a ells del que volem. Els hem dit que es sentin còmodes, que es sentin a gust entre nosaltres, ja que aquesta sessió és una sessió per conèixer-nos més i bé, per treballar plegats. Good morning to everybody. Thanks so much for being here with us and for explaining how do you work with illustrators. Belén Cabratosa will explain you what are expecting to listen from you and what do you think about illustrators has to work with you.
Hi, good morning and welcome to everybody. And we would like to know a little bit about your country because a lot of our illustrators are interested to be international and work with different countries. So we would like to, if you can explain a little bit about some different topics that it will be interesting for them. For example, how is the situation of the illustration in your country? How is the style that you are working out and you are interesting, because you know that here in Catalonia there are very different styles, and maybe you say, we prefer this kind of a style for our country. Also, we would like to know, for example, if you prefer that you receive the information by email, by phone, a personal interview. We would like to know also how frequent the illustrators have to contact to you after make the first contact, because sometimes they are sending you the portfolio and they didn't receive any news, and maybe sometimes they are shy and they don't know exactly if you prefer that they contact again, or what is your opinion of how is you are working in your country. Also, they would like to know if you prefer that they submit a personal work or they prefer they show only their work, okay, and you propose them the work that you want to do, okay. Also, we would like to know, just a moment please, how do you look for the illustrators? You look for between an agent like Claire, or you prefer you look for them by internet, or do you look for reference, or how do you look for the illustrators? Okay, and if you can recommend them some things, will be highly appreciated. The first will be Claire from Korea. She's an agent, a Korean agent. Claire, good morning.
Morning everyone. I'm just try to. Is this working?
Yeah.
Hello everyone. It's great to be here first of all, and then meeting new everyone and learning more about your works and your authors and your cultures and history and everything. My name is Claire Moon, And I've been working as a foreign rights agent for Orange Agency for almost 9 years now. Our agency was established in 2003, and it's been about 15 years in the business we've been in. It's a, first of all, sorry that I'm not an editor or a publisher, but maybe my perspective and an input as a rights agent, yes, would be interesting and helpful, hopefully. So, so please don't think me as an agent on behalf of Korean publisher. I'm here to look for some good books and good projects to show my Korean publisher clients. So I'm more like your agent, pitching and submitting your project to Korean publishers. So yes, so I'm on your side, and I'm completely open, and I'll be extremely happy to learn more about your projects and then return home and then show them to my Korean publisher clients. And it's actually Korean publishing and Korean rights trading world is quite unique and different from any other countries. First of all, our publishing industry and then the role of foreign rights agents, it's quite dominant for the past 30 years. And then so when Korean publishers want to find new books to translate into Korean, they first reach Korean, like a foreign rights agent like me. And then they tell me they're interested in which type of books, and they're looking for what they're looking for. So the role of rights agencies and then rights agents are quite bigger than any other countries. So I'd like to call it crucial because I'm an agent. So anyway, and yes, maybe I can give you some information about Korean publishing industry. Although the literal size and scale of our publishing is not so big, just a first print is for picture books, children's picture book is usually 2,000 copies. Like 5 or 6 years ago, it was usually 3,000, but it's getting decreased quite significantly. And these days, smaller publishers sometimes first print like 1,000 or 1,500 copies. So the market is getting smaller, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean that our publishers don't look for anything new anymore. So one of their strategies is to survive this difficult time is to bringing more new books and then try to maintain and then remain and then attract readers interested in new works. So although our market is a little bit struggling, foreign rights sales wise, I mean like agencies and agents are doing quite well. So it's not like our foreign rights sales are getting severely down. So I think we are still hopeful that the market will catch up sooner than later. And then, so I'd like to say what our publishers are more interested in. Our publishers like to publish books with strong message and then clear and then not ambiguous endings. So and then we like things that happen. I mean that ends with happily ever after. So because we have this notion that children's books should be happy. Yes. So if a book has a dark ending or unhappy ending or ambiguous ending, then our publishers usually say no to those projects. And then rather than too artsy or too strong, too extreme, too abstract, illustrations, really, our publishers like clean, simple, and bright, and then yeah, those ones like cute, and then those arts would be more interesting to our publishers. And in regards genres of picture books and children's books, just creative picture storybooks and then informative non-fiction books for children are the two biggest and then two most popular genres in Korea right now. So yes, so and then the interest in non-fiction books, reference books, it's getting higher and higher. So when I told my clients that I'll be here and then meeting with Catalan illustrators and then publishers, they all asked me to find them good non-fiction books to translate into Korean. So of course I'm a big lover of creative storybooks too. So and then about 50% of my children's books clients are focused on that genre as well. So I'll be mainly looking for good picture storybooks as well as non-fiction books with lots of information and lots of visual materials like illustrations, photos, and those books too. So yes, I think that be all. So yes, so if you have any questions or anything to ask about our market, about what I do, just let me know. And I'm an agent. I love working with emails rather than receiving a call. It's email gives you more time to elaborate, and then receiving a call. I think it's because my English. So when you speak in English and then in person, that's better. But just a phone call, it's very difficult. It's more difficult than face-to-face conversations. So rather than causing some misunderstandings through phone calls, I think email is the best, especially we share different time zones, so everything. So email is the best. And yes, that'd be really all. Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
How many images do you like to receive from the portfolio?
Oh, images.
Yes.
Not too many, to be honest. We don't need that many images to know about an illustrator. I don't know, a dozen to 20. Yes. So as many as you want, but not like hundreds of images. No, it's difficult to download them at first, especially through emails. So I think a dozen to 15 would be
Okay.
the better. Yeah.
Claire, do you think Korean publishers have a specific style?
Oh, you mean illustration style? No, as I told you briefly before, when I submit them books from European countries, especially Spain, they sometimes think that the illustrations are too strong. I don't know whether I'm conveying my meaning clearly, but too extreme. We see them not good for children, maybe good for adult readers, but we literally don't have a market for children's books for adult readers. So maybe some art students would be interested in buying them, but for us, children's books are mainly for children. So we prefer, our publishers do like simpler and then more realistic arts than too abstract and too difficult ones. And then our publishers always tell me that images and then the pictures and illustrations should be self-explanatory rather than too difficult to understand. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Claire.
Thank you.
Christina, please, it's your turn. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. The friends and the colleagues are very cordial and hospitable here to meet you. I'm very honorable to participate in the meeting in Catalan. And first, I want to introduce my publication house in detail. My publishing house, Juvenile and Children's Publishing House, belongs to Shanghai Century Publishing Group. In 2012, it celebrated its 60th anniversary. GCPH is the first professional children's book publisher in China. The publication has a wide range of children's literature, humanities, natural science, step-by-step reading, comics, educational books, and visual electronic books. GCPH has nearly 200 employees. We have 9 book editorial rooms, 8 journals, 2 weeklies, a digital publishing house division, 1 official website, and 1 science popularization base, and a modern, intelligent 750 square meter office building. Our main book products include original literature for children, classical literature for children, translated literature for children, original comics and cartoon, and translated comics and cartoon, science and humanities, original storybooks, and translated storybooks, and picture books. We have many best-selling writers in China, such as Cao Wenxuan, the International Hans Christian Andersen Award winner, Zheng Chunhua, the famous story named Big Head Father and Small Head Son, the writer. Ye Yonglie, the writer of 100,000 Whys, for children's scientific book. Shen Shixi, famous Chinese animal story writer. Zhang Leping, for the image of Sanmao, a very cute image, a lovely boy in China. And second, I want to introduce you the significant Chen Bochui International Children's Literature Award. Maybe some of you have known it. The Chen Bochui International Children's Literature Award is one of the longest running literary prizes in China and one of the highlights of Shanghai International Children's Book Fair. Created to raise the quality of children's literature in China, it brings together an international jury of children's literature creators, critics and academics to select the most inspiring children's contents of the year and honor those who have contributed to make books and reading always more attractive to the younger ones. The The Chen Tree Award structure goes like this. We have Author of the Year. The award includes Author of the Year, Reading Contributor of the Year, Best Novel of the Year, Best Short Story of the Year. So these are all for Chinese writers and Chinese illustrators. Then we have, however, we have an award for international illustrators, Best Picture Book of the Year. So the Best Picture Book of the Year warmly welcome your illustrators in Catalan to join us. And this award open every year until October 10. So in this year, it will come out the result tomorrow. Tomorrow we will give the prize to the significant, very beautiful picture book. So CICLA, so this, I mean Chen Tree Awards picture book is the perfect way for publishers from other countries to give a boost to their original creations in China, and get a chance to receive one of the 20,000 RMB rewards granted to the best picture books of the year. You will have rewards. The Chen Tree Executive Committee is calling all children's publishers to enter their finest picture books published in the last year. The list of laureates will be released at the CICL. For more information, please visit CCBF Chinese Children Book Fair in Shanghai. You can visit the official website. So welcome cordially to join this. Then for me, the questions about just now you have asked many questions about the illustrators. So what we concerned about illustrators, and I will say something briefly. In my opinion, I'm an editor. By the way, I'm an editor. I love working with children's literature. 6 years old up. I do the books. Edit the books 6 years old plus. And we, I think it's the best way to interview illustrators face to face. Of course, it's the best way to get a comprehensive understanding of the ability and the expertise of illustrators. Publishers usually have their own selection topic program. I think, and when the selection needs, the illustrators can quickly get a positive answer, say yes. If the company does not meet the specific draft style and type of the topic, then the company will reply to illustrators to let them know they have not been successful this time. In regards of the priorities, we choose an illustrator. First of all, in China, it's the punctuality. You'd better deliver the work on time. And secondly, according to the topics of publishing selection, we select proper illustrations that are in line with the content and the style of the text work. An illustrator needs to provide illustrations that the publishing house are interested in for one book, two book. Third, the publisher's cost budget. The cost budget determines the royalties stands. and the right illustrator to choose. Fourth, to ensure the quality of manuscripts, an illustrator does not need to have such a huge reputation to get cooperation opportunities. We recommended illustrators adopt a digital file, because print copy is not clear enough to reflect the true quality of drawings. It is very useful for illustrators to showcase your different areas and styles they have. Definitely, publishers want to know illustrators. The more comprehensive, the better. However, a finished book proposal is not always accepted. It is easier for a mature, famous illustrator to find a publisher for a finished book. But usually, for a general illustrator, the best way is to refer to publishers in publishing in advance. Discussing about some issues, for example, reader preferences in China, repeated publishing phenomenon, techniques, and so on. Moreover, sometimes a finished book proposal doesn't meet with the publisher's styles and taste, so there will be embarrassment probably. Nowadays, it's convenient for publishers to hunt for illustrators on the internet. So please tell me the website of your association. It's very useful. There are groups of art editors and illustrators. Publishers usually join the group and find an illustrator. But it's more reliable to ask a familiar person to recommend illustrators. In recent years, China has introduced a large number of foreign illustrated books, literary books, scientific popularity books, and professional books in many areas. Although adult books are deeply impacted by the internet, but mobile reading ways. Children's books still have an unprecedented market space in China, ranking in the forefront of the overall market. There's no problem for the acceptance of various styles of illustrations, but we prefer some warm, very cute, just like Korean style of the illustrators, and happy ending. Maybe we want very profound stories. Does not only need to have the same topic. But in general, the importance of personal specific style of illustrator depends on the text content and the subject. I think that's all I want to share with you this morning. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We don't have a lot of time. If anyone have a question, we will continue with Elga. Elga, we asked her to speak in Spanish because she thinks doesn't speak a good Spanish, but
Vamos a ver.
Elga, por favor, preséntate tú misma,
Sí, claro.
con tu español, que es muy bueno, ya verás.
Vamos a ver. Sí, muy buenos días. Me alegro mucho que estoy aquí en Barcelona y soy muy feliz que estoy invitada para comer y para comer el sol y para saber mucho sobre su mundo artístico de las ilustradoras. Trabajo en una casa editorial con mucha tradición, pero el departamento juvenil es bastante joven, es casi 20 años, y desde de los empiezos estoy trabajando ahí. y me encanta mucho, me encanta la literatura infantil y me encanta la literatura juvenil y es al aspecto económico es el sector más estable, se dice, más fijo en las ventas y por eso muchas editoriales que antes no han publicado libros infantiles o juveniles o crossover han empezado a publicar estos libros y así el pastel no crece, pero la gente que quiere una pieza del pastel son más y entonces las piezas del pastel son un poco más pequeñas, ¿no? Es así. Pero la Casa Fischer, fundado en 1886, es la editorial de Thomas Mann, Franz Kafka, Gerd Hauptmann, y tiene mucha tradición, pero esto hemos empezado a publicar con libros en el mundo infantil, con libros no originales, sino de derechos comprados de casas editoriales ya muy bien establecidos en Alemania, pero desde ya 20 años tenemos autores alemanes y todo eso. Y el Casa Fischer, la editorial Fischer, pertenece al grupo Holzbrink, que es un grupo muy grande que tiene editoriales en los Estados Unidos, en Inglaterra, en India, en México, y ha decidido a comprar otras tres editoriales de literatura infantil y ahora publicamos cada año 230 libros solamente para niños hasta juveniles y somos un grupo muy grande, ¿no? Ahora y tengo que admitir que las emociones son universales, pero el gusto visual es diferente. Es que los alemanes son muy famosos por ser un poco conservadores al visto del gusto visual. Eso que somos diferentes de los italianos y de los franceses, y también de los Países Bajos, que son tan cerca, pero a nosotros todavía nos gusta tanto en el mundo infantil el arte más avantgardista, algo muy moderna, eso no. Es que quizás a los niños le gustaría a comprarlo, pero tenemos los padres y tenemos los libreros que seleccionan los libros, porque los libros infantiles normalmente son libros de regalos y entonces tenemos diferentes clientes de verdad y tenemos que seleccionar y los grupos, las editoriales grandes no se atreven tanto como los editoriales pequeñas, porque hay el marketing que dice que no se vende, así no. Y no es fácil introducir un estilo nuevo en una editorial. Eso claro, es así. Y además tenemos muchísimas ilustradoras alemanas, claro que sí, que están estudiando arte aplicado y entonces claro que sí que hay una competencia grande entre los ilustradores y es muy difícil hacer el primer paso en una editorial. Y claro que sí, si tiene un libro, tiene éxito, claro, se dice, esto que quieres, que queremos trabajar junto con esa editorial, con este ilustrador también, pero eso creo que funciona en todo el mundo, ¿no? Más o menos, no sé. Y entonces es un poco difícil trabajar junto con un ilustrador, con una ilustradora extranjera, que no habla el alemán, porque si tienes un texto y tenemos ilustraciones en el libro, tienes que traducir el texto si el ilustrador no habla el alemán, ¿no? Esas son costes extraordinarios adicionales, y entonces eso me parece un poco difícil. Me parece más fácil comprar derechos de un libro ya publicado en una editorial catalana o una española, ¿no? Eso, a mi opinión personal. Sí. Lo siento.
Muchas gracias, Helga, y sobre todo muchísimas gracias por haber hecho tu charla en castellano. Y bueno, yo creo que todo el mundo se habrá dado cuenta de que realmente se te entiende muy bien.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti. Bonjour, François. Please, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. Great. Hello, everybody. I'm very pleased to be with you this morning in this so beautiful place. So my name is François Martin. I work as editor for Actes Sud Junior, which is a children's book department of Actes Sud. Actes Sud was founded in 1978. It was founded at a time where most of the publishing houses were concentrated in Paris, and especially in districts, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. So 20 years ago, we created a children's books department, and these last years, after Éditions du Rouergue, Thierry Magnier Editions and Helium have joined Actes Sud, and so we are now a small group of 4 publishers, 4 brands, but we try to keep our own identity, because we have our own history, our author, but it's a difficult issue for me, because if we work together, it's because we had a common sensitivity, a common taste, so it often happens that we share the illustrators. So I try to focus on my editorial line, so maybe I try to distinguish more by my editorial line than by my graphic line. But I think that, for example, picture books published by Actes Sud Junior are different from Thierry Magnier picture books or Rouergue picture books. I think that we are less sophisticated, less arty, and more accessible to children, because I hope that our books can be understood, appreciated by children. I think there is another thing important I wanted to insist on it, is that a good book for me is a book which is can be appreciated by children, but also by adults. It's an opportunity to connect between children and adults, and to create a dialogue. It's an opportunity to discuss about the text, about the illustrations, about the topics in picture books. What I have forgotten to say is that our catalog offers a wide range of collection, for non-readers to young adult readers, young adult novels in the field of fiction, non-fiction, board books, activity books. And if we include the three other publishing houses, Thierry-Magny Éditions, Rouergue, and Helium, we publish about 260 titles per year. So we are now a major actor of children's books in France, children's books literature in France. To focus on our subjects, on the relationship with the illustrator, or do we collaborate with the illustrator? I must say, without being too arrogant, but you know that French people tend to be arrogant, that in France we have the opportunity to have many talented illustrators who are trained by excellent school of design and illustrations, but I know that there are also excellent school of design and illustration in Barcelona. So we receive many projects. As far as I am concerned, I receive more than a dozen of projects daily by mail or by email. We also create contacts with illustrators at the Children's Books Fair. You know, there is an important book fair which will be taking place at the end of the month in Montreuil. It is Salon du Livre de Montreuil. It's the most popular children's books fair in France, and it's an opportunity for us to meet the illustrators. The illustrator presents their portfolio during speed meetings. I must add that I'm not art director. In our team we have art directors, so I work with him, but it's him who proposed to me an illustrator for the project. So he's responsible of the graphic line of Actes Junior and of the choice of illustrators, but we work together. That's it for the moment. Okay.
Merci beaucoup, François Martin. Buongiorno, Carlo Gallucci. Benvenuto. Please, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for coming. And speaking, I'm the last, so you have to be short. So it's easier for me. But I feel myself a little bit different from the other experience that we heard this morning, because I'm the publisher. So I am the marketing man, I am the art director, editors, and everything. So it's easier to deal with us, because it's one-man company, more or less. We are very small, smaller than all of them. At the same time, it's a lot of job for me. It's hard work. This morning, I had to do a lot of mail before coming, because now it's a very small company. I founded the publishing house in 2002, and my horizon was very small. I wanted to publish only 10 books each year, very selected and special for me. But we had a nice success. So now we grew up, and I didn't want to stop the growth of the company. And this year we are publishing 90 new titles and 94 at the moment reprints. So around 90 new titles this year and last year, and around 100 reprints every year. So it means that we reprint a lot. This drive us to a different discussion about what's changing. The print runs are shrinking, but if the book is a good book, then you reprints. This make a different scale on the costs that they used to be, and it affects illustrators and authors on the ROI side. So, but it's a different discussion. What we do. So, as I said, I have another job. I'm a journalist, and so I wanted to publish few books for with a special idea in my mind. So, as you said, it was very similar to my idea. I wanted to publish books for children that children like and parents like. I didn't want to publish a book for the adult to say how intellectuals we are, how smart, how clever, how what sophisticated taste we have. No, I didn't want to do that, but I didn't want to be on the mass market or in the character market, TV character. You know, that's most of the publishing, children publishing field. It's taking from TV and doing something very popular that usually children likes and parents know. So that was my special idea, and the book as a parent at that time of young children. So I wanted books to play with my children, something with a level for me of interest for me, and a level for children. So we had success maybe for this reason, and so grew up and more. And growing up, I had to enlarge my the span of our publications, and now we are we have different piece of we cover different part of the children publisher market, and we have our first idea was books with a CD, with music and movies, and for children, like Ernest Celestine. Do you know maybe Ernest Celestine with the screenplay by Daniel Pennac, and comes from Gabriel Vincent work, and I am the publisher of both the books. I was already the publisher of the books and of the home video DVD, and we publish only the book, only the DVD, or together. And we have one book with What a Wonderful World, with the CD of Louis Armstrong, for example, or Obladi Oblada, music and books. So this is what was my first idea, because Obladi Oblada is a song for adults, for parents, and it's nice and easy for children at the same time. So it was a good common game. And from there, we grew up on illustrated books, so very nice, well done illustrated books, but not only for adults. Okay, so I tried to choose something that children likes at the same time of the adults, and from there now we are on the 0-3 years old market with a lot of titles. This is the most alive market, I think, in the world, you know. And then we have illustrated books from 3 to 6. I don't like the age classification of books. I have to say. So I wrote, since my first book, I wrote from 3 to 91, because I didn't want to say, there is a size, like for a T-shirt. If you go in a shop for dress for children, they have the ages and different size. I don't believe on that for books, and I strongly fought against. So I think there is a minimum age. So if you don't read, you can have a book with a lot of text. If you have not experienced, you can not read something. So there is a minimum age, but not a maximum. So our books say from 0 to 99, from 3 to 99, from 6 to 99. And I had a problem when our Nobel Prize, Rita Levi-Montalcini, that was a scientist and very incredible woman, she was an author of us. She wrote books for children for us. And she, she made, 100 years. So I had to cancel from 6 to 99 because the author was more than 99. It was very funny. She was looks with irony to that. And so I don't believe on size, age size for the books, but to understand the market, we have many books on 0-3 years old now. Then usually we start with illustrated books, where illustration weight more than text, and then first readers and readers. So we cover all the span, and all the market, and we have different approach from very arty book. So I don't refuse. I like very artistic books, but they have to be really artistic, not pretend to be. It's a big difference, and not easy, and not friendly to say to an author sometimes. But I like the experimental book, avant-garde book, something very strong, but that it must not pretend to be that. It must be that. I cannot explain more than this, but we had a good success, even a market success with very hard books on that side. But of course, they are a niche of the market. And then we have some mass market, never mass market, but we sell a lot of more popular books on the 0-3 years old side, or we have sold hundreds of thousands of books with song, with CD. So Obladi Oblada is a mass market or not. It's hard to say. For me, not. It is not a TV character. It's more belongs to our culture. So it's a mass book because it belongs to our market, and we of course publish pop-ups and books with flaps and projects. So we cover almost everything, trying to be in the middle between the mass market, the big company, mass market production, and the really sophisticated small publishing house market. We try all the time to be. Our struggle is to be in the middle. What we ask to illustrators, maybe you like to know. Too late? Too late. But so you will know, not know. No, in one word. I, like a publisher or and art director, I prefer to choose illustrators and authors, illustrators and stories myself. So I do the mix, and usually, because usually when you have a project with the two friends, one is indulgent with the other. We are a better judge to decide what works well together. But this is not easy with a foreigner. So from you, my feeling is completely the opposite of what I do in Italy. We prefer to receive a project and say yes or not to that project, even if, because it's very hard to deal and change. Maybe you can change here and there. So it's, to be pragmatic, it's better to receive a project. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'm sure the illustrators will appreciate so much your works. And I'm sure, I hope you will enjoy their works and you will enjoy their book proposals from publishers from here. Thanks so much.
Okay.
It's okay. I think we should cooperate a little bit, because we